Good morning. Welcome into our new segment. It's familiar music and a familiar business with First Centennial Mortgage. We've got Mortgage Talk with Michael Giacomino as we join Michael, a senior loan officer for First Centennial Mortgage, for some talk about common concerns and questions about financing options for purchasing a home. And Michael's in studio today. Good morning and welcome into the show.
Good morning, Mike, and good morning, everyone. Michael Giacomino, First Centennial Mortgage, OswegoHomeLoans.com. And Mike, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we want to first, with this being your debut show, taking the place of John Schwab. John now doing business in a different state, so you've jumped in to kind of take the reins, so to speak. Give us a little background on yourself, Michael, before we get into the the nuts and bolts about what's going on with today's rates and those types of things. Fill us in on a little bit about yourself.
Definitely, Mike. Thank you. John Schwab. I've known John Schwab for years and years and years, probably a little over 20 years.
Wow.
So very familiar, and always loved listening to him on the air here.
Yeah.
Myself, I've been in the business a little over 20 years. John was one that trained me in the business, believe it or not. So spent a good part of my business time in the mortgage world, originating, making mortgages, working with home buyers, purchasing their first homes, subsequent homes, refinancing, saving some money for my borrowers and clients. And I also spend some time in the space of the mortgage servicing world. That is in the back end of the mortgage once the mortgage is made and you're making payments and all that kind of fun stuff. So I've been across if you will say, the whole life cycle of mortgages.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm glad I have it over 20 years and have been they call it the front end and the back end of mortgages to kind of know everything about them because you're still learning every day, but very, very comfortable to talk about them and know them inside and out.
Yeah, to have that experience in an ever-changing market, 20 years ago compared to now, 20 months ago compared to now, big differences, of course. And, there's lots of options out there for people to try. Why should they come to talk to you? Because I know John, with the great customer service and his availability, and I'm sure it's kind of the same thing that he's probably trained you on, and it seems like you've got a passion for it as well, and that can go a long way for a customer to have someone that knows that they're fighting for them to help them get the best situation.
Absolutely. Need somebody on your side. What First Centennial offers and my website, OswegoHomeLoans.com, First Centennial is a local direct lender. We're not a mortgage brokerage. We're a direct lender. Everything is in on-site. We have our mortgage underwriters. We have our loan processors. I could walk right over to the underwriter and work through your deal with them together. So they say a lot of power, but it's very nice. It's very flexible. It's very use the word forgiving either, but it's nice. It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I'm able to offer that, and I could see what the underwriter sees. And we're not sending your file out. There's not a million people touching your file. You talk to me from the start to the finish. I do have a great team that works with me, but as well, I'm available all the time and always have my thumb, if you will, on your file, just like John Schwab.
So if you go to OswegoHomeLoans.com, that's kind of where it all gets started, and from there you can, get the process rolling.
Yep, my website, OswegoHomeLoans.com, that definitely gets the process started. I have calculators on that website. You could punch 10 different ways from Sunday of if I want to borrow this or if I make this much money, how much would my payment be if I plug in this interest rate and all that fun stuff. Back to First Centennial for just a second here. We are a direct lender. We're located, our corporate office is right in Aurora. So we've got that hometown lender feel. Myself, I live in Oswego. I'm always in and around town. And so we know it well, and we serve our communities very well. And I'll get into on later broadcasts of what we do to serve our communities. But we're definitely very, very invested with our communities.
What are some of the other ways people can find out more or get a hold of you, Michael, if they like to do it over the phone, or if there's an option to come see you, maybe like location, phone numbers, hours, all that type of stuff?
Absolutely. We have offices all through the area. We have an office in Lisle. We have an office in Aurora. We have an office in Oswego. We have an office even as far north up as Algonquin. So always available. My phone number direct is area code 630-746-6600. 888-866-7478. Call, text anytime. But that's the best way to get a hold of me there.
Yeah, excellent. And our time has kind of wound down already, and it's a great way to kind of kick things off, get to know you a little bit more, and then by the time we get to our next show and subsequent shows, we'll dive into those rates and the ever-changing market, and you'll be the one to give us all the information we need to kind of get things started, Michael. So we're happy to have you on our new segment, and thanks so much for joining us today. We'll look forward to another visit again next week.
Mike, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time.
It's Mortgage Talk with Michael Giacomino. It's every Wednesday morning at this same time. Again, go to OswegoHomeLoans.com to find out more. Call 630-746-7478 to talk to Michael and get the ball rolling. We'll have another show for you again next week. Michael's NMLS number 1983164. First Centennial Mortgage NMLS 132763. Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee number MB0004239.